all these old head dudes that just hate like artists like Lil Uzi Vert, or like even Lil Baby, Dirk, all like the artists, the old heads that hate the music like that are not listening typically to the Benny the Butchers, the fucking even like artists like Dave East is like coming from New York and shit like that, where there are super lyrical artists nowadays that are reminiscent of the old school feel with a lot of the new school style, but then it's like they're underrated. Like they're not getting the proper, even Rhapsody, that's a female rapper that like pretty much nobody talks about, where she's barring most dudes to death. It's not even close. Like she comes from North Carolina and shit like that, like close to where my brother stays and shit. But like nobody really talks about her like that. But like people want to complain always about like, oh, rap music is not the same and da 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 da. You're right, it's better because it has everything now.
It does have, yeah.
It has literally whatever you want back then and then some. So
does that fall back on just like a lot of people just kind of accepted that music isn't what it used to be, and whether or not there's music like that or not, they just a long time ago accepted that music isn't what it once was, so it doesn't matter if there's a newer generation artists, it doesn't matter what type of music they're making, they can't be making music like that because music isn't what it once was.
Correct.
And that's just that mentality they get stuck in.
A lot of people, because we're talking about the general public's opinion on it, because like at the end of the day we know all these artists that we're about to talk about, but it's like the rap public is very much so a pop culture at the end of the day. So if it's not like artists like Uzi or like Baby or even Lil Baby and shit like that, they don't really know who Rhapsody is, because those aren't the artists that are on the radio. Those aren't artists that are gonna pop up on their fucking Spotify or Pandora playlist, because these motherfuckers aren't actually going and looking for new music like you and I are and shit like that. So at the end of the day, like they're gonna end up staying under it, and most of these artists don't give a fuck. Like I guarantee Rhapsody don't care, because she knows she's hard. Anybody that's into female rap specifically, like that's looking for lady artists and shit like that, killing the game. She like, I don't think there's probably anybody that I know of that like, there's other artists that can compete, but she's
well, if you want to be that Lil Baby or that Uzi, you already should know going into hip hop. No, this is just my opinion. I'm not knocking that type of music. I like lyrical rap more than anything. I like more old school technical rap a lot. I enjoy just sitting on a mic and rapping over trying to make a song all day long. But if that's the type of music you want to make, you need to accept the second you get into rap, correct me if I'm wrong, that you're not going to be that big billboard Baby or Uzi. That's not what people want to listen to.
Usually, unless you're a J.
hate
Cole
to your music.
Correct. But if you know anything about rap and you're trying to be a, let's use fucking Big Crit as an example. Big Crit is like one of those like super underrated artists where it's like he makes quality music. Nobody talks about him. People kind of just brush him off to the side. He came up in that same group with like the J. Cole, the Kendricks, the Drakes, that same time period. Fire shit, has classic mixtapes, like hard ass projects. Don't nobody really be talking about him, because at the end of the day, he's kind of, his personality and not his I don't know, it's like he just doesn't, it's the same thing like Sauce Walker, where he just doesn't really care. Like if you know about him, you know about him. If you don't, oh well. Like you're kind of missing out in his mind, which is exactly how artists should feel. Like, but at the end of the day, like it makes him underrated in the grand scheme of things.